Okay, hi there. This is John Bishop and my friend Philip Roseman. I'm from Bellingham, Washington. Philip's from Flint Hill, Virginia. So we're going to talk a little bit tonight about LifeWave, some key points, and about the stem cell market industry, which is growing. And so we're going to just do a it's not going to be too long, but I have a PowerPoint presentation that I'll take you through. And I'll kind of go back and forth with Philip about some points. Okay, so, I better make this bigger. Put it on there we go. Okay, so these are some important things that you may or may not know, but the stem cell industry has been growing quite exponentially for some time. So the global stem cell market size was estimated at $99.6 billion in 2019 and is anticipated to witness a CAGR of 8.2% through the forecast period. Despite being controversial, these stem cells have gained significant attention from the multidisciplinary community of scientists. An exponential rise in stem cell-based research and huge success of regenerative medicine are expected to fuel market growth. It is expected that the stem cell market will exceed $28 million by 2027. So this is huge. This technology has gained prominence in the past few years as it's directly linked to the treatment of damaged tissues, diseased organs, and regenerative medicine. Research activities targeted to develop polymeric biomaterial systems have witnessed a rise in recent years. These systems act as a niche that aid the survival of the stem cell. So I have this graph right here to just kind of show it, how it's been growing since 2016. And there's some categories there: cell acquisition, cell production, cryopreservation, and expansion and subculture. So this industry before 2016 was pretty much, it was really in its infancy. And then all of a sudden it really started to take off, and it's been growing ever since. So this next slide. So we see a trend here, and I want to talk about something about timing and opportunity. So I want to talk a little bit about the Starbucks story, which you all know. I don't know if you love Starbucks or not. I do. Unfortunately, I don't go there very much these days, but I do love Starbucks. And Starbucks was first opened in Seattle, as many of us know, on March 31st, 1971, by three partners who met while they were students at the University of San Francisco. English teacher Jerry Baldwin, history teacher Zev Siegel, and a writer, Gordon Boker, were inspired to sell high-quality coffee beans and equipment. Okay, then something happened in 1981. Howard Schultz, who's now the CEO and chairman, first walked into a Starbucks store. From his first cup of Sumatra, Howard was drawn into the Starbucks and joined a year later. Okay, what you might know about this story is what I want to talk about. So I'm going to go back and stop the share for a moment. Philip, do you know what happened in 1981 after Howard Schultz decided to join Starbucks? There was an interesting event that happened.
I can tell you this. When I lived in Seattle, I worked managing some gallery/tourist type stores, both in Pioneer Square and just south of the Pike Place Market. I also did some selling of crafts in the Pike Place Market. No, I did not work for Flying Fish. It's where they throw fish at you and back and forth in the Pike Place Market. Tourist trap. And across the street from that, across the street from one of my favorite used bookstores, which you don't need anymore now we have Amazon, another Seattle story, is the original flagship store for Starbucks in Seattle. However, I do know about the Berkeley story, which is where they went to Peet's Coffee, and Peet's Coffee is also a rather smaller success story, that the original owners based their coffee recipe on how they burned their coffee and leached the caffeine out of the bean by turning it into a piece of charcoal and then flash freezing it right before it caught on fire. And that's how they got all the caffeine out of that lovely oil that they got. And when you used to go into a Starbucks, my first memory was that it smelled a little bit like BO. No offense. And the reason is they were actually burning the coffee when they roasted it. And that leached more. You could get more, you could caffeinate your audience a little easier. After that, and how Howard Schultz got it, I think you should tell me, because I don't know what happened in 1980. Okay. I just told you everything I know about Starbucks.
Okay, that's a lot. Thank you. Okay. So what happened when Howard Schultz came along is they were doing okay, but they're trying to get bigger, and to get bigger and open franchises, it takes some investment. Okay, and you need some players. You get some movers and shakers. So Howard Schultz called a big meeting at a Marriott hotel, and lots of big business entrepreneurs were invited to come. One of them, Merlin Corbin, this is one I heard the story from, was quite a revelation when I heard it. There was about 200 people that were invited, all different areas of business. And so what Howard Schultz was trying to do, much like venture capitalists, is get people to invest in the vision, in the dream, and that this is going to be different. And so he gave his presentation, and it was not well received, including by Mr. Corbin. Mr. Corbin had a few questions like, who in the world is going to pay $3.50 for a cup of coffee? Who would do that, right? So he walked out with just about everybody, okay? So had he stayed in the meeting and heard a little bit more, and maybe perhaps caught the vision of what Howard Schultz was saying, well, Tim tells that story today kind of a somber tone, because he could have been one of the first investors in that and could have made millions of dollars. Okay, so the point is that it's hard to see something that's going to take off. It's even hard to see trends, although I was just explaining about the stem cell industry and that growth. But what about us? I mean, just us, everyday Joes. Do we ever feel like we might have a chance to catch a wave when something is just starting to happen and we have an opportunity to invest in it? Well, in my occupation, I really had never thought about that before. I just really didn't feel, number one, I didn't have an extra $1 million in my pocket, quite a few zeros less than that, never had a savings. So to be quite honest, that never even came into my brain. So I would like to tell everybody about such a thing that could be happening right now, right here in 2020, and it is a company called LifeWave. So I will go back to this PowerPoint and pull up the next slide. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So these are 6 important facts to know about this company. Okay, first of all, the company was founded in 2004 by David Schmidt. He was the inventor of the products that I'm going to explain a little bit later, and he is the CEO today. In 2019, they had their 15th anniversary. And what makes them different is they are the only company with a phototherapy stem cell patch technology in the world. In the world, there is no other company, just this one. Okay, they won a lot of awards. I'll just mention one. In 2019, they won the Direct Selling Association Ethos Award, which is an award for innovation. Okay, so the science behind LifeWave is just incredible. Number one, they have over 30 patents, really, because they came out with a few more recently. Over 80 clinical trials, and these are all double-blind, placebo-controlled peer review. That means third party, so somebody else does these studies as well as they do. And they've spent $50 million in 5 years building up to that technology. And what it's all about is the activation of stem cells by nanocrystals in the patches when placed on the body. Now, in another webinar, I could go into this much more deeply, but I'm not going to do that today because I plan this to be kind of a short explanation. And it's just to really pique your interest and really see if you think that there might be an opportunity here. And maybe not a business opportunity, but maybe just something here that might be good for your health. Okay? So moving on to the next fact here about the products. In 2004, they launched their first patch product, and that was called Energy Enhancer. And I use Energy Enhancer, and I can tell you, it has made a difference in my life. Basically, David Schmidt, what he was doing at this time too, just before they launched it, was they were trying to come up with a product that would increase energy and stamina for the Navy, for submarine crews actually. And so David was given the task to come up with that, come up with those kinds of therapies, and that really led to a real breakthrough in this phototherapy story. Okay, so today there's 13 unique products since then, okay, 15 years later. The most recent is the X39. Okay, this is another patch that I use daily. It's an amazing patch for what it does. It basically, I was hoping my cough wouldn't come back today. Sorry.
There's a patch for that.
There is a patch for that. So it's all this rain we've been getting. So I won't go into all of the they have targeted products as well, but the X39 really addresses a lot of health issues like reduction of inflammation and better sleep, more vitality, skin improvement, detoxification, many things. So it's the most recent one, and it's probably, as David Schmidt said, it's his greatest invention. They even have patches for horses. It's a unique product called AccuLife, and this helps horses with their inflammation or their energy or stamina issues. There's also a patch. Actually, there's a set of products that is called Alavita, which has a phototherapy patch, but it also has a day and a night cream, and that's something also that my wife loves, and I actually been using it myself and feel much difference in my skin. And they have other products for vitality and pain management. There's one called IceWave. That's the one that really brought me into this company. I had years of really bad back pain, and after an introduction to that patch by a friend of mine, my back pain today is virtually gone. So also they have patches like the X39, especially for longevity. And so what they found in their clinical trials is really an amazing thing that happens when your stem cells are not just activated, but they're elevated, and then regeneration happens. And we know if that our stem cells are really what decline in age, especially after 60 years old. They decline rapidly. We lose about 60% of our stem cells, and that really ages us quite quickly. So many, many good products I want to talk about in the future, but I'm going to move on to the next one, which is timing. Okay, as I was said at the very beginning, I was talking about the stem cell market. It's a huge market and it's exploding. Okay, many people are going to take advantage of this trend, and I believe many people are going to make a lot of money. Many companies are going to make a lot of money. I'm sure you've heard of stem cell injections. They've been around and are coming into the forefront more recently. So as far as LifeWave goes, it's been 15 years, and so far really over 30 million patches have already been sold around the world. Okay, they're open in 100 countries. Actually, I think it's a little more, but I got to check just how many, because they added a few. They're opening more countries. Distribution is diversifying. And I want to talk about that a little bit because it really is diversifying. I mean, we see brick and mortar stores just going, belly up. It's something that I don't think anybody hasn't noticed. And at the same time, online entrepreneurship and online companies in a way to move a product from a company to the consumer with a click of your phone or your computer, you can place an order and receive your product directly. So that is also becoming more and more normal, as we've all seen. So there is a business opportunity here, and in another webinar I can go more in detail about the compensation plan. The compensation plan, you can just think of it as a commission plan, just like in real estate. If you sell a house, you make a commission on it. It's really no different, and that's how most I would say all direct selling companies work. So in this company, in LifeWave, it basically has a binary tree structure. So if you imagine you're coming into this company and you want to make commissions, and so basically you have two ways to go, right or left. Just like in life, you have a leg or a team on your left side and a team or leg on your right side, and these are the people that are going to come into the company after you. So you will either personally place those new enrollees. Okay, this can also be preferred customers or whatever, yourself or somebody above you can place them in one of those legs, and it builds over time. Okay, and that's what's called it's basically called a downline. Okay, so as this is building, you start to receive commissions weekly. Okay, so the interesting thing about some people have done. Other companies, there's many famous ones like Amway, Mary Kay. They have a different structure. This one is very interesting. It's a binary system, and not all binary systems and companies are the same. This one is unique in that there's a payout cap, and I'm just going to briefly explain that. So basically, as you're building right and left, you're building business volume on your right and left. In this company, once you build 660 business volume on one side, that would be your stronger side or your power leg, you need to also have at least 330 business volume on your profit leg or your weaker leg. When that happens, you get a cycle bonus, okay? And that cycle bonus is $50, okay? So every time, and you can do this more than once in a week. You can do it many times, as I'll explain. But this is only one bonus plan, and it does have a kind of like a salary cap. That means you have infinite depth for more people to join your organization. But once you hit 500 cycles, that's it. That's all you can make on that binary plan. And so if you think of 500 cycles times 50, how much would that be a week, Philip?
500 cycles times 50? Don't ask me that. I need my calculator. Just tell
Okay.
me.
$25,000 a week.
Well,
That's
I
what
should
you
have
would,
known that because I knew that anyway.
yeah, Philip already makes that. So he's really not too concerned about this.
I'm the king of LifeWave.
Okay, so and this, this is done, of course, very seamlessly and by direct debit. So it goes, each week on Monday. That's when I go to my computer and I see, well, what's coming, and then my bonuses are there, my binary bonuses and other bonuses. So I won't go into other bonuses, but these also are great bonuses. They're very helpful.
The better it is.
Yes. So, but there are some conditions, just like in everything in life, there's conditions. So certainly in direct selling businesses like this, because the company has to grow, the company has to make money, and what they do is they basically reward their representatives the same way any other company would. There's just a little bit of difference, okay? Once you've joined the company, if you want to receive commissions weekly, then you need to be what's called active. And active, I put just down here, 55 business volume. It's basically one product, either X39 or Energy Enhancer or one of these products, okay? Which is basically a monthly supply or a little less, depending how much you're using it.
Can I explain something about that, just to throw it in there? Basically, what you're doing to keep active in the company is using the product.
Right. Right.
And that's it.
That's it.
So.
That's it. Yeah. There's no quotas. There's no, besides that, there's nothing else that you have to qualify to get bonuses that are coming in. You'll see them on your when you open your website. You go into your back office. You'll see them there as long as you're active. So a lot of yep, you'll receive those commissions. Okay, so I can talk about that in more detail later in another webinar, but I'm going to go to the last point, which is tools. And but I'm going to try to explain my tools, that things that help you, and really it's not, you don't have to create these things. The company has created these things for you, which I think is amazing. When you decide to become a representative and you want to receive commissions, what will happen is you'll be notified by email that you are qualified to have commissions. So you will set up what's called a pay portal account. Okay, it's like kind of a third party. It's through Nu Skin, but it's sorry.
We all have interruptions.
All have interruptions.
Fall outside my window. Fell down.
Going on. So you set up this this account, and they're the ones where your commissions are calculated and everything, and you'll receive commissions, like I said, on every Monday. So the next thing is you have a personal replicated website. This is something you don't have to pay for. There's no hosting for it. They just give it to you. And that just sets you up for all kinds of things that are in there. I'm not going to go into detail, but there's clinicals in there, all kinds of resources, things that you need to know about the company to really to understand every aspect of it.
What John's just said in these 6 things, that's all in there and more. Right,
exactly. And you got an InTouch app on your phone, which I'll just hold up my phone for a second here. And this is really a remarkable piece of technology. They're still doing upgrades on it, but basically on your phone, you will have these 6. You'll have a banner which will change probably over time about LifeWave. You'll have buttons that'll say share. That means share a video or post something. It goes to a place where you can see these anywhere from a 30 to 10, 15 second video to a 4-minute video. Okay, all these are produced by the company. Then you have a prospects button, and this is where you keep all your contacts. You add prospects. You have a button for a 3-way call, so you can get on the call with your sponsor, and or anybody who's who you want to if you need need to kind of convince people a little bit more about what the company's about, then you can do that. You can find it under the events tab, which is great. It tells you all the upcoming events that are happening, meetings, etc. It takes you right to your back office on this tab here. And then you have alerts. So whenever somebody, let's say you send them a video and they open it and they start to watch it and it's 3 minutes long, and this alert tab will tell you if they watched the video at all, or maybe they didn't, or they listened to a minute or 2 minutes, or they listened to all of it. And then what you're able to do is you're able to follow up with them and say, hey, how did you like the video? Okay, so it's a remarkable thing. It's right here. Your fingertips do lots of things on your computer. You can do lots of things with this app on your phone. So getting back to the next thing, you got 24/7 customer support. There are days that the company isn't open, like holidays and things like that, but basically, they're there for you.
And you'll talk to the loveliest Irish people you've ever met.
That is true.
Our customer service is in Ireland, and it's wonderful.
Yes, they are. They are. Yes, especially Sarah. Sarah is.
Wait, she's nice.
She's nice. Okay, so there's also you can set up a preferred customer yourself on Autoship. I recommend this because then you don't have to think about your next order. It'll just automatically do that. And you can change your Autoship at any time or add things to it. Okay, big thing is for retail customers, because I didn't go over retail. But for retail customers and what's called a preferred customer, you have a 90-day, 100% money-back guarantee. That's just unprecedented.
It says 3% there because that used to be the old number, but 30-day, it's actually a 90-day now since the COVID-19 thing started. They said, let's extend it so people can try this. They have more time.
Right, right. Now, when you do become a representative, it will be a 30-day. It'll be a 30-day 100% return. Okay.
Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
But it's good that they did upgrade for. I think it might have had something to do also with the because it was right around when the COVID-19 crisis started. But I hope I'm pretty sure that they were saying they're going to continue that. So 90 days, so you can take the product. If you're not satisfied, you can return it. Okay, and then as Philip was saying, marketing materials. There's all that stuff in your back office. There's so many things that you can just use to help you in your business. And then and the last thing, tool is more of a human tool is the upline. So I'm Philip's upline, and he would be my downline. So I have responsibility to Philip so that I can build his organization, his binary tree. So
and I will say this: it is a two-way street. We're helping each other. John and I are definitely tag teaming.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Yeah, that's if you have a good friend that you've known for a long time as your sponsor and you're working together, it's all that much better.
Even though I'm on one coast and he's on the other.
That's right.
Thank God for Zoom.
And we got everybody in between though, Philip. That's the thing, Well,
I wanted to throw one thing in here at the end and just not interrupt your flow, but just to conclude it maybe. You have 6 circles here, and there's really a 7th one that encompasses them all, and that's you. Not you, John, not you, Philip, but yes, you, John and Philip, and everybody else who makes all this work, just like anything else. You can't have a business without people. Stakeholders, as they say in the business acumen, it has to do with everybody who's involved, from the distributors to the customers to the people they do. So, and the idea is that we're out there, we're with people. So the 7th circle is you, is everybody. This technology is not putting something in your body. It's helping your body to help itself. It's not a medicine. it's helping your body create medicine so that your body does more. Everything from the stem cells. I've got patches on my knee, which took me a little while to figure out where to put them, but I need a knee replacement. And when I walk, I have severe arthritis pain. I had severe arthritis pain. When it's raining out, I can barely walk. Today it was pouring with thunder and lightning. We had the worst barometric pressure in the world, and I was fine. Yeah. And it's taken a while, but I try to finally figure out where to put the darn things, because it's different with everybody. And so this is for you. The company is for you. The science is for you. The products are for you. The timing that we use, the compensation plan if you decide to become a distributor, the tools that are at your fingertips, regardless of whether you're a distributor or a customer. Because if you want to know more about it, it's there for you too.
Yes.
So I just want to say there is a seventh circle, and that is all of us.
Good. Thanks, Philip. And there is, we do have a couple of Facebook pages, don't we, Philip?
We do. We have the, I don't think we have them up right now to show, but we have the facebook.com S group. I believe if you go to facebook.com/life, I can't remember what it is, but we'll put it up there for you. Right. It's for the customer. It's for anybody who's interested in the product and the business, but they're not really part of it yet. And we will drive people there so that they get lots of information about it. And you can do that in one place, and it will drive you directly to us and back and forth. And once you become a distributor, we have a separate Facebook page. We now have a Facebook group, which I was just working on yesterday, which is going to have tons of information about how to do the business, how to work with customers, how to learn about the upline, some marketing tools. This actual video we're doing right now will be on that page. So lots of resources that you can go to, whether you use our LifeWave pages or whether you use our Facebook pages, our YouTube group, all of which is being developed right now. So, and by yours truly, with the assistance of Mr. Bishop, we will do that. And we're going to have more and more people on there, and the more people, the merrier, because you are the seventh of these circles.
Thanks, Philip. All righty. Okay, so let's go back to that screen. Okay, so I hope people that are getting this recorded version, it was just Philip and myself on today, got this far, and I hope it's at least piqued your curiosity. And if you have any questions, please get back to us. We'll be glad to help you understand more about this company and the opportunity and the products. So thank you.
Thanks a lot. We look forward to seeing you all soon.